Hello once again to my predictions of West Ham. This time we take on Burnley, but first, we've had a lot of views recently, but only 1% of you are subscribed. So if you wouldn't mind, make sure you're subscribed. Click that subscribe button just below me and join the FDT-TV family. And before the predictions, let's get into the news. We do have two departed players. They haven't died like Virgil van Dijk, but they are at different clubs. Robert Snodgrass, arguably the biggest loss of either. A big personality in the dressing room. We all love him. He's always smiling. We wish you well at West Brom, playing under Big Sam, a former manager of ours, as probably we all know that anyway. And Sebastian Haller, his agent must be related to Jesus, because how has he ended up at Ajax? Ajax are a fantastic club. I do think he will thrive there. Slightly easier to score goals than in the Premier League, but I do think he'll still get called out for not putting in the effort. That Ajax team is very hard working and always are. That's why they do so well. So we wish you the best, but good riddance in my books. Now, that leaves us a little bit short, so I would hope that David Moyes is very confident that Antonio is back fit and will be for the rest of the season. However, we have been linked with all and sundry again in terms of striking options. Let's go through a few of them now. First off, we'll start off with strikers who we've been linked with, but it looks like they're going to go elsewhere and not play for West Ham. The first, Joshua King, we went in for him in the summer and was unsuccessful. We wasn't quite stamping out the money. Bournemouth wanted 15 million for him. We're still only offering 12, and it looks like he's going to be on the way to Everton in some sort of money and swap deal. He is out of contract at the end of the year, so if he does stay at Bournemouth and doesn't join Everton, maybe we can pick him up on a free in the summer. He's yet to score in 8 appearances in the Championship this season, so he's not going to come to us in form or match fit. Next off, we've got Olivier Giroud. Now, for me, when I first heard these rumours, before we sold Heller, I was like, yes, this man scores goals. Yes, he's the wrong side of 30 for a footballer, and it's not something you're going to look to build around for the next 5 years, but he can score a goal. He has got the movement, and he's a winner. He's won everything. Next, Eddie Nketiah, a young player. If you haven't seen on my channel, link will be in the description. We are doing a run through on Football Manager of Arsenal. We're making it work. Eddie Nketiah is at the front of that. But is he the sort of player we need at West Ham? Yes, he's young. Yes, he can improve. Yes, he can score goals. But is he going to put in the effort and be able to boss a defence like Antonio does on his own? Possibly not. I think we've had a bid rejected for him anyway, so it doesn't look like that one's going to happen. Now we'll look at some that are more likely to happen. Ismaila Sarr from Watford. This looks like it's a £30 million deal. I can't see it happening myself. Lightning quick, young guy, can play on either wing, can play up top. Would be a good recruit, yes. £30 million, is that overpaying? Possibly a little bit. It did look like he was up for a big move in the summer, but that didn't come off. The asking price was questionable in that. I'm half and half on this one. I'd love to have him because, say, he's got moments of brilliance, but he didn't seem to be the most consistent of players. So we'll wait and see. The one I am slightly more excited for, but even a little bit nervous, is this fella from Slavia Prague. We've had a few of them. Sufal being one, Souček being another. They've both been brilliant. This guy, Abdullah Simmer, he is very young, relatively unknown, hasn't scored, well, he's scored lots of goals in the time that he's played. He has scored 14 goals this season in 20 appearances throughout. He's 19 years old, but he's unknown. It's his first season in professional football for Slavia Prague. They did sign him from some obscure club for £104,000. They're looking at a £20 million deal for this guy. He's from Senegal. If we do sign him, we'll do another video on on the history of him, where he comes from, and what we think he's going to do. But say he is a centre forward and he can play on left and right wings as well. So he's got a little bit about him in terms of versatility. Hopefully we can get someone in soon to replace or be a backup to Antonio. Not replace him, but be a backup certainly. But with that, let's get into our starting lineup. We start off on the substitutes bench, 9 substitutes. A squad that's lacking a little bit of depth now. We've got rid of a couple of players and we've got a few injuries. Fredericks hopefully will be returned from being out with isolating from COVID. Issa Diop and Ben Johnson make up the defensive options for me. All solid. I would expect 2 out of 3 of these to play in the game against Burnley. Against Stockport, which we've should be going on right now. Mark Noble dropped back down to the bench. Yarmolenko and Fornals. Just some options there, experience and a bit of creativity. Balwena, hopefully we'll see him back. He seems to have been in and out of the squad lately. I don't know for what reason that is, whether it's a little niggling injury. A backup keeper in Darren Randolph. He's not playing as far as I understand because from what I can't find any information about Fabianski's actual injury. So hopefully he won't be out for too long or we'll be back in for this Burnley game. And Nathan Holland coming up from the under-23 squad. I think he will play against Stockport. But to have him on the bench, get a bit of youth in there would be very, very good. So we've got Darren Randolph on the bench. So obviously we know who is going in goal. That's Fabianski. In defence, Soufal has been brilliant. So he keeps his line up. Craig Dawson's done nothing wrong to lose his spot. He's been solid since coming in. I was a little bit nervous about him playing initially, but he's done really well, so he needs to stay in the squad. Ogbonna obviously is brilliant, and Aaron Cresswell is just leading in terms of being able to put balls in and creativity from the back. Now, midfield, Souček and Declan Rice. They're the first names on the team sheet these days, aren't they? You can't drop either of them. They're both brilliant. Potato salad all round for the squad. We need, if that's what's causing him to play like he does, then the whole team needs to put on a potato salad diet. And I think most West Ham fans will back me up. Click the like button if you do think that should happen. Ben Rama on the bench, on the left hand side, and Jared Bowen on the right. Both very, very good players. Both very quick. Both wanting to get forward a lot. And Lanzini has been relatively consistent recently after a good run of form in the team. He is able to hit a ball. We will remember that game against Tottenham. But he is a creative player and he's got that trickery around him. And for up front, Mikel Antonio. Be nice to see him back in the squad, absolutely bossing teams again. I think we're going to need a player of his stature and his tenacity to really try and get through this Burnley team. They are strong. They started off the season poorly, but they did have a lot of injuries. So the bit that concerns me is the fact they've now got Nick Pope back, Tarkowski back, Ben Mead back. They're hard to break down. They're physical and they're patient. Is what I need to say really. We need to be on it for 90 minutes this game, and we need to be pressing them hard and high and fast, and not giving them the time and the space. But we need to give our creative players the ability and the time on the ball to be able to do what they need to do, and give them the options of passing out when they need to. Let me know what you think our lineup's going to be and what the prediction for the scoreline will be after this game where West Ham take on Burnley. Until then, I've been Ian. We'll see you soon. Peace.